at this point, everyone's kind of in a mode of, look, let's just get through this. Let's just get through this bit, and let's just get out the other side so that we can at least have an opportunity to rebuild.
Yeah. A lot of businesses now are going into what I like to call hibernation mode, shutting up shop temporarily just to ride out the storm. But that in itself presents a number of challenges because, again, it's that uncertainty. We don't know how long the storm will rage on for, and we all have a finite amount of resources left or cash left in the bank because, of course, none of us are getting any revenue. So my greatest fear for the meetings and events industry is that we may not have the people, the companies, the capabilities left to help us rebuild once we do get to the other side of all this.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. It's going to look very, very different when we all sort of raise our heads out of this hibernation phase. It will be interesting to see what it looks like. In New Zealand is a great example. I mean, gosh, we rely so much on them as good partners. Now they're just going through a staggering 30% reduction of all their staff. It's hard to comprehend what that actually looks like. So some of the people that members of the CINZ team work with on a daily basis will no longer be there or won't be there for a period of time. What do we do? Down to the very small industries, our I think this is the thing. Our industry is so broad. It's so broad. We could classify Singapore Airlines, all the national carriers are a huge and important part of the business events ecosystem. So are all the hotels. Now you're talking thousands of staff, thousands of people in those environments to start with. And then it reduces down to a couple of people who are running an events agency. And we just don't know who's going to survive out of all of this because it's indiscriminate. Yeah. It's not picking off the small ones, it's not picking off the big ones, it's picking everybody off. So I guess our role becomes an important one then around just making sure that people have access to the support that they need. We've taken a very big play in terms of mental health as well, because not only will people be feeling the effects of hibernation, isolation, they'll be feeling the effects of watching their business, disappear in front of their eyes. And so because they're not surrounded by people in a physical way, how do we make sure that they're okay as well? So there's a lot of layers to this, and honestly, Lauren, it's kind of it takes every fiber in my being just to not think about those things, because I think if I did, I wouldn't be able to function myself, because it just breaks your heart. So you've got to stay strong, you've got to stay positive, and you've got to stay on focus and help those people get through this. And that's what we've offered to do. We've said to whoever needs it, we are available 24/7, whatever you need.
The other important role I feel of that industry associations must have in times of crisis is also to be a trusted voice. I wanted to ask you how you are, I guess, conveying that to your members. You mentioned you have the weekly coffee session, which I think is fabulous.
Communicate. You just keep talking to people. And if you keep talking to people and being as authentic as you possibly can, then they start to believe that you have their best interests at heart. I've been in this job not even 2 months, and so people really, didn't really know me from a bar of soap. They kind of did, because I've been in the New Zealand industry for a while, but it'd been a long time. And so I had a very steep curve to make people, or to help people to trust me, because instinctively I felt some of the things that we had to do, and hey, I got it wrong multiple times, because I'm not far from perfect, but I think it was just a matter of just making sure that people understood that everything we did was to help them, was to better them, was to further their voice and to further their cause. So we've been very, we've communicated really strongly. Each week we have a newsletter that goes out called Let's Hui. So Hui is a Maori word for meeting. Mm-hmm. And Let's Hui talks about different things from, where are those silver linings? We've got to find that optimism, and we're finding them, and we are seeing that there is these little trinkets of business popping up every now and again, further down the line, but they're there. Or there might be some important piece of news that we want to share with them. Or I might just do a newsletter, or I might just send out a statement and say, hey everyone, this is what we've been doing. And so I think that's how how I've got around the whole piece around gaining people's trust and being their trusted advisor, their trusted voice for the business.